Hi there, it's CJ Miller. I'm in Shreveport, Louisiana, and here I have a saucer of some chunks of chicken that I've made, and it's in a saucer of a product called Yum Yum sauce. Now, this is the first video in which I'm trying to find a really enjoyable blend of flavors and seasonings that I can use for chicken wings. And so I was looking at some suggestions online, and you know, it's like, yeah, you know, um, and this is this is a suitable, I would do this breading, and if I needed to, or if, yeah, it would be suitable for serving for company. But I'll tell you, um, it's not, it's not that breaded chicken wing that I'm looking for. Uh, you know, that which is the blazing hot wing or the blazing wing. It's just not, it's not what I'm looking for, but it's good. So starting out, I used an egg wash, 2 eggs with an equal amount of water, and then I put that in a bowl and set it aside. The seasoning, uh, eyeballed amounts pretty much, garlic powder, onion powder, cumin, tarragon, a little bit of poultry seasoning in the bowl, salt and pepper, and Tony's More Spice blend. And I think that's what I could have done. I could have used the bold spice. It would have given kind of a bolder, because I think this actually needs more red pepper. And then a lot of paprika, ground paprika. I tossed that around in the bowl, and then I used, did I tell you I put a little dash of black pepper and just a little dash of salt? But I used a little bit of self-rising flour, equal parts to the amount of seasoning that was in the bowl, and blended that about half and half. It's okay. You know, it's good. I mean, it's just, and it's delicious. If I were not looking for a specific recipe, then I would be like, okay, great. So then I put this in a basket fryer on the stove, got them steel. It was pretty good. And I don't know. I think it's okay, you know. And then the Yum Yum sauce is good, because I've already tasted this, by the way. So, and the Yum Yum sauce is something, it's like a Cherry Hose brand Yum Yum sauce. He calls it the original. I don't think so. I'm from Louisiana, and though I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, there was some time when my father was an offshore welder, and we did live in St. Mary Parish, way down by the Gulf, you know. And what happens when you get around those indigenous / incorporated peoples that you know, those that you know, you get the Native American, you got the Cajun French that brought down their traditions of you know, cooking with sauces, and then you got the island people, and you know, the black people, and just all those people, just like with their foods just blending, and there's a lot of Asian that's come in there, but this is not original. When I was down there, we would have like fish fries and seafood fries. You know, people would just go out in their yard with boilers and put, you know, oil in it and fry it and drop their grease in and make really, really great, wonderful fried foods. And what would happen is that your you know, the aficionados or whatever, they would get they'd get a ketchup here, a mayonnaise here, a mustard here. They'd line everything up, and then they would make their own blend of sauces from those sauces. Usually mayonnaise heavy, a little bit of ketchup, and then mustard. And they would just add to and take away as they were dipping, as they needed to change their the flavor of their own individual personalized sauce. And that is very close to this Yum Yum. So it's not, and I was a picky eater, but yeah. So, and I'll tell you, it tastes a lot like Cane's, Raising Cane's sauce. This is probably the closest you'll get to it in a store form if you love that Raising Cane sauce. Although that Raising Cane sauce is just a touch more ketchup-y. But let's get into like me tasting this chicken for you and giving you a, a perspective. Okay, for one thing, I would have done I'll do differently if I can next time. Is I will do the seasoning batter, and then the egg wash, and then I will go into a breadcrumb or cracker crumb layer, because that's what this needed, was a little bit more crunch. But it cooked thoroughly through. There's seasoning all over the surface of this chicken, even before the battered layer. So it's really good. There's a lot of flavor. This is really delicious. Let me have another bite, because that's how delicious it is. Okay, so what I would do maybe is I would back off a little bit on the salt, although it's not too salty, but for trying to balance, and I would increase the red pepper, maybe even get a little white pepper, and then so I'm zeroing in. I'm coming down on finding that flavor that I love. Back off of the salt a little bit, and more pepper flavor. You know, which I think the more pepper flavor could be, if I were to go to change from that Tony's more spice and use maybe a Tony's bold spice blend, that would probably do it. That tends to be a little bit spicier, and that would do it. Or I could just add an additional amount of ground red pepper to this myself. But you know, that's you know how salt, you're kind of like, hey, it's really good right here, but if I add a bit more, it's going to be too salty. Pepper is like that too, especially with chili peppers and red peppers and things like that. You could be right at the cusp of, okay, this is great, and then you add a touch more, and it's like, okay, now it's too much. So I know that a lot of wings that you do, or even these chicken chunks like this, you're going to put them in a sauce. So the actual breading flavor is kind of secondary to the sauce that you would roll it around in. Indeed, I'm here using a sauce, but some people use a buffalo sauce or barbecue sauce, you know, and that's fine. But that blazing wing did not need a dipping sauce, and I'm really trying to recreate that. Now, I know I can get a similar flavor in the blazing chunks, but I need to have something that I can do for the chicken wings, and they don't make them anymore. They do. Tyson makes a fully frozen, a fully cooked frozen chicken wing that I suspect is the same recipe that they gave to the Pilgrim's Pride company, because Tyson used to make it this product, and then it started being made at the blazing hot wings, and then they became the blazing wings. And they were at Pilgrim's Pride, and then the label changed to Country Pride, and they started making the blazing chunks. But it's like, it's just, yeah. And I think the problem was in partial cooking. They found a problem with the partial cooking that people were complaining about the way the product performed, being, when I'm cooking it, I'm seeing blood come out of it. Yeah, well, blood will sometimes come out of chicken, but I don't know. They got in trouble with price fixing. I talked about that before in another video. I'm just telling you that this is a good chicken chunk kind of recipe. It did really well. It actually looks lighter to the eye than it does on the camera. It looks darker on the camera, so it's not, But I think probably I'm getting close. I'm getting close, and like I said, my obsession for the time to come will be finding the perfect breaded chicken wing recipe. Sometimes I'll be testing on chicken wings. If I have chicken breasts on hand, I'll test with that. But obviously, for me, I love the chicken wing portion a little better than actual chicken breast. I don't know, something about that flavor and tearing it off the bone with the flavor of the marrow and everything really gets to it. Okay, if you have some, the people out there, if you have some experience with home cooking your chicken wings, let me know, man. And yeah, peace and love. Good night.